get one shot, no do-overs. This is the No Reset Podcast.
Intro. In sports, we often debate the greatest teams, the greatest players, and the moments that defined an era. But what if those moments could happen again? What if legendary teams from different seasons could meet on the same field and finally settle the debate? Welcome to No Reset Sims, where history is replayed, rivalries are reborn, and every simulation writes a brand new chapter. I'm Knox Wilder, and this is the No Reset Sims podcast. Last week's GridIron Classic matchup featured a showdown between two dynamic quarterbacks from the 2012 season. Michael Vick of the Philadelphia Eagles and Colin Kaepernick of the San Francisco 49ers. Two explosive offenses, two very different styles, and a best-of-3 series to determine who would come out on top. Let's break it down. Game 1 delivered exactly the kind of quarterback duel fans were hoping for. Philadelphia struck first with a field goal after a roughing the kicker penalty kept their opening drive alive. But San Francisco answered quickly. Colin Kaepernick led a strong drive and finished it himself with a 9-yard touchdown run. The 49ers had the early lead, but that momentum didn't last long. Michael Vick reminded everyone why he was one of the most electrifying players the NFL has ever seen. Vick broke loose for a stunning 74-yard touchdown run, the biggest play of the game. From that moment on, the Eagles' offense found its rhythm. Vick connected with Jeremy Maclin, Deshaun Jackson, and Steve Smith. Late in the second quarter, Vick found Smith in the end zone to extend the Eagles' lead. San Francisco fought back in the second half. Kaepernick connected deep with Ted Ginn Jr. for a touchdown. Later, Frank Gore powered into the end zone to pull the 49ers within 3, but Philadelphia controlled the clock down the stretch and held on for the win. Final score in Game 1, Eagles 24, 49ers 21. With Philadelphia leading the series, the matchup shifted to San Francisco for Game 2, and this game had a very different feel. Instead of a shootout, Game 2 became a defensive battle. The Eagles struck first, when LaShawn McCoy powered into the end zone to give Philadelphia a 7-0 lead. From there, both defenses took control. San Francisco struggled to establish its running attack. Frank Gore, who had been effective in Game 1, was held to just 17 rushing yards. Late in the fourth quarter, Colin Kaepernick finally put together a clutch drive. With under 2 minutes remaining, he found Josh Morgan in the end zone. The game was tied, 10-10. For a moment, it looked like the 49ers might force a decisive Game 3, but Michael Vick had other plans. With time running out, Vick led the Eagles down the field. Then he took matters into his own hands. Vick rushed into the end zone for the game-winning touchdown with less than a minute left. Final score in Game 2, Eagles 17, 49ers 10. Philadelphia completed the sweep and won the series 2-0. But across the two games, one thing became very clear. Michael Vick's experience made a difference. When Vick was at his best, he was incredibly difficult to defend. His speed, his arm strength, and his ability to improvise gave the Eagles' offense a dangerous edge. Philadelphia also did an excellent job getting its playmakers involved. Deshaun Jackson, Steve Smith, and LaShawn McCoy all made major contributions throughout the series. San Francisco, on the other hand, showed flashes of brilliance, but the inexperience of Colin Kaepernick showed up at key moments. There were times when the 49ers offense looked slightly out of sync. A few passes sailed high, some throws were just off target, and a few drives stalled when the timing between Kaepernick and his receivers wasn't quite there. That inconsistency made it difficult for San Francisco to build momentum. The Eagles' defense also deserves credit. They contained Frank Gore and forced the 49ers into obvious passing situations. And when that happened, Philadelphia's defense tightened up. In the end, Michael Vick's experience and the Eagles' offensive balance proved to be the difference. Before we wrap up this GridIron Classic, it's time to name the series MVP. And this one is pretty clear. Michael Vick. Across 2 games, Vick delivered explosive plays through the air and on the ground, including a massive 74-yard touchdown run in Game 1 and the game-winning rushing touchdown in Game 2. When the Eagles needed a play, Vick delivered. For his leadership, his playmaking ability, and his clutch performance. Michael Vick is the GridIron Classic Series MVP. Now the question turns to you. Michael Vick clearly controlled this series, but to be fair to Colin Kaepernick, context matters. In 2012, Kaepernick was only in his 2nd season in the NFL. Michael Vick, on the other hand, was already in his 11th year. He was a veteran quarterback with years of experience and big game moments behind him. Kaepernick was still developing. In fact, we were still 1 year away from what many consider his best season. In 2013, Kaepernick led the San Francisco 49ers to a 12-4 record and a Super Bowl appearance. That year, he threw for over 3,100 yards and 21 touchdowns. So here's the question. Would the 2013 version of Colin Kaepernick have performed better in this series? Would that version of Kaepernick be able to defeat Michael Vick? Maybe. One day, in no reset land, we'll find out. But for now, this moment belongs to Michael Vick. So tell me what you think. Does the following year's Kaepernick defeat Vick? Or was Michael Vick simply the better all-around quarterback? Let us know your thoughts. And now, it's time for our fan reaction of the week. Every week here on the No Reset Sims podcast, we'll feature at least one comment from a member of the No Reset Sims community. So if you leave a comment on one of our videos, who knows? Your post might be featured right here on the next episode of the podcast. This week's comment comes from Unreal Thunder 90. Short, simple, and straight to the point. Earlier this week, we asked the question, was the Michael Jordan Game 3 era war dunk on Steph Curry a poster? Unreal Thunder 90 answered with just one word, yes. And sometimes that's all you need. Short and simple can say a lot. Now we want to hear from the rest of you. What do you think? Was that Michael Jordan dunk on Steph Curry a poster? Personally, I think it absolutely was. Classic Jordan fashion. Now, before we close tonight's episode, let's take a look at what's coming next in the No Reset universe. This week, we shift from the gridiron to the octagon. It's time for No Reset Fight Night. First up, a legendary rivalry returns. Rampage Jackson versus Chuck Liddell. 2 of the most explosive light heavyweights in MMA history, meeting once again inside the cage. That fight goes down Thursday, March 19th. Then on Saturday, we have a special showdown that crosses generations. Justin Gaethje versus Bruce Lee. A clash between modern UFC aggression and one of the most iconic martial artists of all time. That matchup takes place Saturday, March 21st. And that's not all. The full schedule of upcoming simulations will be officially revealed in the next Fight Night podcast, dropping Monday, March 23rd. More matchups, more rivalries, and more unforgettable moments. Only in the No Reset universe. Now, folks, that wraps up another Gridiron Classic here at No Reset Sims. And since you stayed to the very end, I would like to treat you to witness Michael Vick's 73-yard touchdown as it was seen live. So with that said, again, I'm Knox Wilder, the Knox Wilder. And remember, in the No Reset universe, the game is never truly over. Be safe, be blessed, be happy. And whatever you do, don't hit that reset button. Until next time, I'm out.
The Eagles offense ready to see the football for the second time. They'll start out first down and 10. Now Vick gonna run it himself. Yeah. Into space. And he is gone. 73 yards. It's a college football old school offense there. They run option and they pick the right option. The quarterback keeps it for the touchdown.
And the key to defending an option play, Mike, is that every defender executes their specific job. In this case, the defender who was responsible for the quarterback, he completely loses sight of him, and it was all the space the quarterback needed to take it to the house.
You get one shot, no do-overs. This is the No Reset Podcast.